Hi guys! So a couple of weeks ago I drove into my road to find a whole load of people there doing something. Naturally, I stood and stared. It soon became apparent that they were going to pave the road. There were lots of big trucks and equipment. I'd never seen a road being built before, so it was pretty cool, and I thought that I would document it for posterity. This machine in particular was a total beast. You'd never have trouble finding a parking spot if you had one of those. I'm just going to let this roll for a minute because it's pretty impressive. Oh my god, the whole house has started shaking. This is my door vibrating. What the hell is going on out there? Jesus, the whole house was shaking like an earthquake. Listen to my door rattling. I think this is going to be a long couple of days. It's absolutely deafening in here. This is crazy. By the end of the second day, it was looking pretty good.
It's incredible!
It's really incredible to watch. All of our neighbours were just out on the street sort of watching it. It's really incredible. Yeah, and it's really fun to know that we're going to have a paved road, and yeah, just seeing it being built, because I've never seen that like from start to finish before. It looks like it's going to take a little while because they're going down the road in stretches, and then I think they're going to have to tarmac it, asphalt it. So yeah, it's really kind of a privilege to be able to sort of capture the whole process from beginning to end, because you know I've lived here for years and years and years, and it's always been a little mud road that gets very rutted during the wet season. So mud roads here are called murram roads, and when it rains you get like really deep like rivulets through the ground, so it can get a little bit difficult to get in and out, especially on the motorbike sometimes after heavy rain. So it's going to be really cool to have like actual tarmac road and just seeing everybody's excitement. We're all just kind of sitting there watching it and taking photographs. The cats are a little bit disturbed by it because when the steamroller goes past, the whole house shakes, like everything shakes. But I think it's a minor inconvenience considering the convenience it's going to create. And also it's just kind of been nice because they haven't been starting too early. It's been starting at a very sensible time, sort of 10 o'clock onwards, which is not a big disturbance, and then finishing, you know, in the evenings. So it's been nice and quiet either side of the building. So yeah, this is cool. Was that a little yawn, my darling? A little yawn. So yes, trips out of the house are currently on hold. Back to window rattling. Wow, the whole house shakes when that happens. It's amazing. Hi guys, I'm having a bit of a miffy day at the moment because my driveway has been blocked for 3 days now, so I can't get out the house with the bike. And now we've had, I'm just looking at my electricity meter, we've had a power cut for, I don't know, ages now. It's probably coming up for about an hour. And the electricity has been a serious problem this year. Like more power cuts this year than I can remember in a long time. Like, I mean, it's always been a bit hit and miss, but it's like every other day at the moment. Usually it's a really short power cut, you know, maybe a few minutes, 10 minutes, 20. But of course, when it goes off, it knocks out the internet. You've got to wait for that to come back on. You know, your fridge starts defrosting. But today's has been quite long. And combined with the fact that I can't really leave, it's getting a little bit annoying. But yeah, so I'm going to go and tune my piano, I think. That seems like a good use of time. Go and tune my piano. Another day of earthquakes. Go and see what they're doing in a minute. I'm very proud of my cats though. They've been very calm throughout all of this. When it first happened, Jas was under the chair, but I think he's figured out it's probably going to be okay. It really amazes me that they're doing that without any protection, without any facial protection. Because like, if that guy's doing that day in, day out for his job, he's got to be inhaling so much dust. I find it interesting. It's like the other day, you know, a couple of the builders came and asked me for water, which I'm totally happy to give them, but I was just thinking, your employer should really be providing you with water as well though. You know, if you're working through like really strong late afternoon heat, You know, they should have a Bowser somewhere where you can get drinking water. And if you're working in the dust like that, you should have protection. That kind of conditions, those kind of conditions can shorten your life. But I don't think that employers here really think that much about the people they're employing. I don't know. It just looks a little bit, it looks like they could be doing a bit more. You know what I mean? Provide some protective gear and provide some water, like bare minimum. These guys on the opposite side were delivering furniture, and no one warned them that the road would be closed, so they had to carry it to the house. Loads of cars were backed up, waiting to get into their homes. I was fascinated by this soda delivery guy, wondering how he was going to get his bike over the high curbs they'd installed. Unfortunately, I looked away just as he was doing that, so I guess I will never know. Been a really entertaining, oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. This has actually been a really entertaining day. It is such a privilege, really, to be able to stand right next to it and watch a road being built right in front of you. I mean, that's kind of incredible when you think about it. And I think I've seen more of my neighbours in the past couple of days than I've ever seen. We've all just kind of been hanging out the doors, kind of saying hello to each other and watching it. And yeah, it's been really, really strange, but good strange. But yeah, they've started to put down, I guess it's like an underlayer. Because when I saw the tanker, I thought they were about to spray it with water to kind of calm down the dust. But it's actually jet black, the stuff coming out of it. I think it's tar, yeah, like an undercoat if you were painting. But it smells really strongly of creosote. So maybe it's creosote. I don't know how these things work. Yeah, I guess like the only criticisms really, you know, they haven't put any sidewalk for any pedestrians at all. So you've got people going along sort of the curb, like wobbling like this, children trying to get to their homes. So it's all a bit chaotic, you know, in that there isn't, you know, a walkway for pedestrians to get past. And also they didn't give us any warning. They didn't tell us this was going to start. And then when it started, they didn't give a schedule. So, you know, for about 3 days now, I haven't been able to get out of my house, and I didn't know I wasn't going to be able to get out of my house. So, you know, I had to cancel a whole load of things I was supposed to do this week because I can't get my bike out. I could go by public motor, but, you know, I've got all my equipment, so really my bike's better. So I'm a bit housebound, and that's fine, but it would have been so nice if they'd just said something. Like in the UK, if you're going to have a road closure, they put a sign at the end of the road, you know, a week or two before saying, between this date and this date it's not going to be accessible. And then people know, because like my neighbor, he is a driver for one of the embassies and he can't get his car in and out, you know, so a little bit of a problem there. And he didn't know either. I thought, oh, maybe they just didn't tell the Mzungu, but they didn't tell anybody. So it's, on the one hand, it's really, really nice they're doing this, and it's incredible to get to see it happen like firsthand. But at the same point, I think they could just have let us know. You know, it's kind of difficult here because there are no post boxes, letter boxes. So in the UK, every house has got a letterbox. So it's really easy when something like this happens. Somebody can go door to door and just put a little flyer through the door telling people what's about to happen. Whereas here, because there are no letterboxes, you know, but you could sort of knock and tell people, or put little signs up on gates and just say, you know, between this date and this date, yeah, plan. But yeah, so it's been really interesting. I don't know how many more days it's going to be. The one kind of concern I think we've all got is that in Rwanda, drop curbs are more of a concept than a reality. So what you'll see is like a really high curb, and then you'll see like a little dent in it where a drop curb should be, but really it's like a smack your tyres and your suspension's knackered kind of drop curb. And we're all kind of looking at it at the moment because the curb, even the drop curb, is a good couple of inches higher than our driveways. And if you're in a 4x4, like a RAV 4x4, you might get away with that. But if I'm going to have to hit that every day with my bike, it's going to destroy my bike. So we're just waiting to see how that turns out, and whether or not they neaten up the driveways so that they're on the same level, or whether or not they just go, job's done, and go and leave us with that problem. So we're just waiting to see. It's going to be interesting, but honestly I'm fascinated, and I've just loved standing out there with everybody and kind of like just saying hi, and you know, everybody passing by and everybody watching it, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. Guys, I'm going to show you something really disgusting. I'm sorry about this. Sorry, not sorry. I've just blown my nose. I've been standing out there for about 30 minutes watching the road digging, and that that came out of my nose. The brown colour is dust. I blew my nose and dust, a huge thick wad of dust came out of my nostrils, and I've been standing out there for half an hour. Can you imagine what those workers who are sweeping the dust, and can you imagine what they're going through and what's going into their lungs day after day? And they've got no protective clothing, no PPE, personal protective equipment at all. And they're doing this day in, day out, road upon road upon road, and all of that is going into their lungs. That is going to kill them. You know, I don't mean to say it out loud, but I said it out loud. You know, I've got asthma and I can feel it. I mean, it was my own fault. I was standing there watching it because I wanted to watch it. So I knew that it wasn't a great idea, but I wanted to do it anyway. But these guys are working, you know, there should be labour laws in place to protect people who are working like that, because you know, yes, we need paved roads. We do. They're amazing. They're fantastic. And I'm so grateful we're getting one. But it shouldn't come at the expense of people's physical health. You know, not in that way. This is a little bit insane. It's gone midnight and they're out there shoveling stuff and just shouting down the road. I was about to go to bed. It's just like shouting. It's a bit much really at midnight. Don't know that they really have to do this now. It's interesting to see the cranes are also operating at this time of night as well. So I've just had a quick look outside to see what they were doing last night, and it seems like they've put some sand down on top of the tarmac. I think this is still the underlay. So tar and then sand. I guess it helps it set and dry. Just rushing to put my bins out. I didn't think that we would be able to today because of the road being dug up, but there are people putting their bins out, so I can take advantage of that. Yep, other people are putting their bins out, so I shall do the same.
It's kind of strange because they've only tarmacked half the road. I wonder how they decide where to stop and why.
Hi guys, so it's been about 4 days and nobody's been working on this road, but I've got to try and get out. There's still a huge pile of mud and a big thick curb between my gate, but well, at the end of my driveway and the beginning of the road. I'm not looking forward to this. I think it could go very badly wrong because my bike is heavy. It's heavy, and if it goes over, I go over. I just don't see why they couldn't have put a little ramp over it, or like leveled the ground, or just left that bit of the curb until they were ready to level the entire road together. I mean, it isn't the builder's fault, it's the people overseeing them that have done this. But I've been reading online and people have been saying, you know, it's great to have a paved road, but people have been saying every time it happens, it takes forever to be completed, and often like it creates a real inconvenience for getting in and out. So yeah, this isn't a unique situation. So when you see the pavers turn up on your road, my initial reaction was, yay, we're getting a paved road, and now it's like, oh. So if you see the pavers turn up on your road, it's going to be a big surprise. Like, they're probably not going to tell you they're coming, but if you see it, make alternative plans for parking. And expect it to take a while. Yeah, like I say, I mean, 4 days now, nobody's been working on it. So, I don't know. But I'm going to try and get out because I've got to get some stuff done.
Easy.
Oh no, it's okay.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness, guys, I'm knackered. I've just proven I can just about get out of my house, but I can't get back into my house without help. The guy literally had to push me over the curb, and it's dangerous because on the other side is a driveway that goes like that straight towards a flight of steps. So I cannot leave my house again on my bike until they finish the road. None of our neighbours have been told when that will be. My neighbour across, she said they reckon it'll be about 2 weeks. I don't know. The guy I asked who was building the road said 1. People online have said like, no, that could take months. It's like, hey, we've built your road, be happy. You don't need to get onto it, you don't need to get out of your houses, just be happy there's a road. Oh my goodness. Wow.
see a power cable has come down. This happens a lot on our street. I once had a power cable hanging across my front gate for weeks. This guy's holding it up with a broom so that the steamroller can pass underneath.
Alright, so it's gone very, very quiet out there. Let's go and see what's happening. Wow, it looks like the road is almost done. There's a little bit up there, maybe they ran out of tarmac. But the really impressive part is that the road comes up to exactly where the curb is. So this is the first car that we've seen on it. You're driving on the road! So that was so cool, is I went to have a look and my neighbour was just coming home from work and he was the first car I've seen driving on the new road. I thought it would take a couple of days to dry before we could kind of drive on it, but apparently you can drive on it immediately, which is incredible. That's what, like under 2 weeks I think to do well, about 2 weeks to do a whole road. It's pretty cool really, isn't it? It's just been incredible to watch it happening. So yeah, I think patience is the key with this, but I think that like the companies don't help themselves, because if they just told people what to expect, then nobody would get annoyed about it. But it's the fact that, you know, people come and they do these things, but they never explain anything to the people that they're doing them to. So, you know, you see like this kind of wall across your drive and you're like, great, are you ever coming back? You know, whereas if they just kind of gave people a rough schedule, you know, even if it's not exact, and kind of explain the stages of it so that everybody knows, oh right, well this is probably going to go on for, you know, 2 weeks and this has got to happen and then this is going to happen. And then you're all kind of like, oh, okay. You're a lot more patient about it. But I think it's the not knowing how long it's going to take or what the stages are going to be. I think that's the bit that gets people a bit riled up, and it's so completely avoidable if you just communicate with people. But I don't know why, but companies just don't do it. Companies don't do it here. It's all kind of left up to your imagination, and my imagination can get a bit wild. So anyway, but it's fantastic. I mean, the road is exactly the right level for the curb, and I think I can get in and out now, but I'm gonna probably wait. Well, I need to get out before Saturday because I have to go shopping. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna try driving on it. That is our road paved, or almost. There's still like a sort of a strip of it that hasn't been filled in, and I'm not too sure why. Maybe they just ran out of tarmac. I don't know. But they finished doing most of it about 4 or 5 days ago now. So I assume they're going to come back and finish it up at some point. It seems like the road is the council's responsibility, but the driveways are our responsibility. I'm not too sure. We're kind of waiting to see if they're coming back, to see if they're going to put down like a pedestrian pathway, a pavement or something. But otherwise, I think it's just up to us to concrete our driveways so that they come up to meet the curb. My neighbour's already said, you know, if they don't come back, we'll all get together and do that. So that's cool, but I can get in and out. Getting back in is slightly more tricky because, you know, the earth there, it's very muddy, it's very kind of slippy, so it's not too, I'm not too confident doing that, especially like I said, because there's such a sharp
driveway on the other side, and if I mistime that and I accidentally hit my accelerator, I'll be videoing from the hospital. But generally speaking, it's fine. I can get in and out, no problem. And it's great to have a tarmac road. I mean, how cool is that? So yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. You saw me. I've been kind of like up and down. I get that way about everything. I'm sort of like, yay, 1 minute. It's like, the next minute, and then it's like, yay again. So I kind of, you know, there are parts of it I've really enjoyed. Like that's been incredible to watch the machines. I mean, they're huge. It reminds me a little bit like in the UK when I go back to visit my mum. There's a huge steam rally in the village next to us, and they have these massive steam engines and all of these sort of old world kind of machinery, very steampunk. And I love going to watch that. And it was kind of a bit like that. It made me think of being at Holywell Steam Rally, just getting to watch these giant machines in action. And yeah, I guess like being housebound for a couple of days wasn't that big a deal. It definitely all came together a lot quicker than people had told me to expect. And it's great to have a tarmac road. I mean, that is just really cool. So that's been fun. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I just kind of wanted to show you like the whole process that went on from beginning to end, because I don't think there are many times that you get to see something like that really up close. So yeah, if you're having your own roads paved, congratulations. I hope it goes well. Also, I don't say this very often because I don't like to kind of shoehorn it into every video, but if you've enjoyed this video, or you enjoy my content in general, or something I've said has been helpful, please do consider a like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. Right, ad over. I'm going to go make a cup of tea now, so see you in the next one.